UFC 313. We got Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, aka the White Boy Wonder, here today to give you all of my predictions and a pick for every single fight on this UFC 313 pay-per-view. Recapping last week, as we always do, we went 6-4. And to be honest with you, that should be 8-2. William Gomez, Esteban Ribovics, 2 plain in sight robberies. Disappointed, but anywho, we move on to this week. I mean, overall for the year, we are 50-32. So let's keep it going. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, comment, share. Support goes a long way. Drop content every week. Picks on Monday, bets on Wednesday. So let's get it going. Main event. Super excited for this and really the whole freaking card. It's awesome. So we got Alex Pereira again, man. Poatan versus Magomed Ankalaev. Odds on the fight: -120 for Alex Pereira, +100 for Magomed Ankalaev. My pick for the fight, I ended up going with the champ. We're going with Alex Pereira. And yes, I know everybody and their mother is on Alex Pereira, and I tried to make a case for myself for Magomed Ankalaev, but there were too many downsides, too many cons to his game, where Alex Pereira can just get the better of him. Now, first off, let's just get the elephant out of the room, right? I don't think Magomed Ankalaev is going to be able to just, wrestle him and control him on the ground for 5 rounds. That's not coming, right? And when it comes to striking, who's better at striking here? Obviously, Alex Pereira, man. Come on now. Okay? Come on now. I mean, Magomed's, obviously a decent striker. He's ranked number 1 for a reason. He does have KO power. He has decent wrestling. Okay takedowns. But he's been talking shit. Don't like that. He's on Ramadan, so his diet's all fucked up. Don't like that. And he's just, when he's out there, he's just like super stiff, man. He's stiff. He just doesn't flow freely. I just don't like his style at all. Now you got Alex Pereira on the other hand. Amazing leg kicks. KO power is insane. This dude's violent. Okay, he's an elite striker. Like I said, amazing kicks to the head, to the body, to the legs, anywhere. That left hook. You watch out for that left hook there, Ankalaev. But I don't think he uses that. I actually think he gets him with a kick. Man, his kicks are deadly, dude, and they don't really need too much to hurt you, because he's freaking Alex Pereira. Now, we've seen Magomed in the past in his fights when he's taking these leg kicks. He doesn't like them, and you'll see that. And I think Alex Pereira is gonna mess his legs up so bad with the leg kicks that he's gonna try to resort to some desperate wrestling, or ultimately not be able to move too much. Alex Pereira will be able to strike up and get him, maybe somewhere on the fence or something. So I got Alex Pereira, but Magomed's tough, so I think KO by like 4th or 5th round. I haven't seen what everyone said on Tapology, but I guarantee you everybody is saying Alex Pereira by KO. What do we got here? What do we got? Oh, and a 5-inch reach advantage. I didn't even mention that either. Alex Pereira by KO. It's going to happen, dude. By decision? I was considering that, but Pereira always finds a way to knock out his opponent. So, yeah, we got Alex Pereira by KO. So does 92% of the 73% of the people picking him. So 27% of people on Ankalaev, though. We've seen Pereira get KO'd by Izzy. I mean, it is possible. Don't get me wrong, it is possible, but let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Don't doubt the champ. He's a champ for the reason. So, Alex Pereira by KO. We move on. our co-main event. And first off, props to Rafael for taking this fight on such short notice against a dog like Justin Gaethje. Anywho, Justin Gaethje, the highlight, versus Rafael Fiziev, Ataman. Odds on the fight, where are they at now? Plus 105 for Gaethje, minus 130 for Rafael. Wow, okay. This is getting closer to a pick'em here. My pick for the fight, I'm rolling with Justin Gaethje, okay? Now, first off, this is a rematch. Justin Gaethje won the first match by a majority decision. Somebody ended up counting it as a draw. Don't see where that came from. I think Justin Gaethje got the obvious unanimous decision. But I don't know. The odds kind of confuse me here. Justin Gaethje coming in as an underdog. I mean, his win after Fiziev was against Dustin Poirier, and then a loss to Max Holloway. So it's like, in that BMF 5-round fight, great fight, gets slept and annihilated in the last seconds. And then Rafael goes on to lose against Gamrot. So I put more stock in, obviously, Justin Gaethje's win over Dustin Poirier immediately following their fight, rather than a loss to Gamrot. Anywho. And what I saw from their first fight, I mean, yeah, Justin Gaethje's semi-chinny. Not really, though. Not really. I mean, he's only losing to the best. But he has great movement, heavy leg kicks, heavy hands, nice dirty boxing. He's a dog. He's tough. He has that nice... Just, he's not, coming in, moving forward with pressure necessarily. But I'm just glad this is a 3-round fight rather than a 5-round fight, because you could see him in those 4th and 5th rounds against Max Holloway. He was getting tired and pieced up. So, and same thing in the 3rd round with Fiziev. Ultimately, I think, at the end of the day, Justin Gaethje did enough to win on the scorecards. But again, I give props to Fiziev for the short notice fight here. But again, he lost the first fight to him. He has quick strikes. He's very fast. I do think he is quicker and faster than Justin Gaethje, but Justin Gaethje puts on more volume and ultimately lands harder. At the end of the fight, when you look at the image and who's done more damage, you look at Justin Gaethje's whole body and face versus Rafael. I mean, you could see it. Rafael's face was freaking bloody and swollen and nasty, and Gaethje had a couple of cuts, but nevertheless, you saw the damage done, right? I think Fiziev has a cardio edge. He did better in the 3rd round last time versus Gaethje. But man, both of these guys they just kind of leave themselves exposed when they're throwing down and getting in those little brawls. But I think Gaethje gets the best of them in those little brawls. I think he gets the better moments. I think he wins by decision. Justin Gaethje by decision, just like last time. Both of these guys are tough. It's going to be a good fight. Great co-main event. Again, props and shouts to Rafael for taking this on short notice. But that's why I'm leaning Gaethje. I don't understand why Fiziev's getting this credit off a loss and now a favorite against Gaethje. I think people just keep seeing him in that highlight moment against Max Holloway getting slept. I mean, let's not forget that was at the 24th minute and 59th second. Like, it's just crazy. Like, training at Elevation fight team with some good trainers in there. I just do not see Fiziev taking this. People are more split on this than I thought. Yeah, Gaethje by decision is what most people are thinking. 31% of people are on Fiziev, though. About split here on KO and decision. Gaethje could find a knockout with those nice leg kicks he has or those heavy hands. You never know. Pick is Justin Gaethje, though. What the fuck? Next fight on the main card, we have another freaking good one, man. Another freaking good one, dude. We got Jalin Turner, the Tarantula, versus Ignacio Bahamondes, La Huala. I think I said that right. Odds in the fight were a pick'em last time I saw, but at the moment, all right, Jalin Turner a slight favorite, minus 115 for Jalin Turner, minus 105 for Ignacio. All right. Now, my pick for this fight is going to be Ignacio Bahamondes. Tough for me to land on this spot, and a lot of others on this card as well. But I think Ignacio has the edge here. Now, he's coming in on great momentum. They're both long, right? Now, I think Turner's actually a little bit longer, if I'm not mistaken. No, they're literally exactly the same according to Tapology. That's crazy. That's kind of crazy. Anywho. Yeah, even though Jalin Turner's the UFC vet, Ignacio Bahamondes coming off of great momentum here, looking better and better and better in each single fight that he's taking. I just think he's the better striker. He can withhold any sort of takedowns and submission threats from Jalin Turner because Jalin Turner's sneaky and crafty with those submissions. Okay? He's sneaky and crafty with those submissions. I'm not going to lie. So, something to look out at the betting side, I guess. Some props to look at, but I got to give some flowers to Jalin Turner too. Again, great crafty subs. He has nice striking as well. He's good in the first round, but after that, he just becomes hittable. The volume becomes less and less and less. And I've seen Ignacio. He has solid cardio. He has great power. The takedown defense is going to withstand. He has finishing ability that we've seen as well. The jabs, solid jab, man. Nice solid jab. Sometimes he even does the double jab out there. Great kicks, and they're sneaky too. They're really quick, man. Whether they're high or low, to the leg or to the head, they'll come in quick. I just think he outclasses and gets the best of Jalin Turner. I'm gonna take Ignacio by. I want to say KO, but I think decision. Ignacio by decision. Dang, this is almost a 50-50. 60% of people on Bahamondes. 58% by KO. 40% of people on Turner. You'll see it. Where's the sub? Only 10% of people by sub? That's crazy. I don't see Ignacio getting knocked out, man. Come on now. Ludovic Klein, he did not. I don't know. Look at his. He's going up against some people that could have knocked him out. Rong Zhu, Trey Ogden, Manuel Torres, especially in the first round. That tells me a lot too. He can weather any sort of crazy storm in the first round. So yeah, Ignacio by decision is my official pick. Excuse me. We move on. Next fight on the card, women's fight. And honestly, pretty good women's fight. Pretty excited for this one. Zoom up here. We got Amanda Lemos. Amanda Ina. Okay. Versus Iasmin Lucindo. Odds on the fight. Plus 110 for Amanda Lemos, the dog, and minus 130 for Iasmin. The dog and the vet? That's who we're rolling with. Give me Amanda Lemos. That's my pick for this fight. The dog and the vet? Now, do not get this age difference twisted here. Yes, I get it. She is 14 years older than Iasmin. Right, I get it. But if you've seen Amanda Lemos' last fights, she doesn't look like she's fucking 37, man. She's super quick still. She still has it, man. She still has gas in the tank. And it's pretty full, honestly. Man, she still is quick. And I think that she's quicker than Iasmin. I think Iasmin has a little bit of a power advantage. But I think she's just too wild, crazy, and young and is going to get a veteran lesson taught to her. I just don't see her taking this fight over Amanda Lemos, man. Beat Marina Rodriguez by split. Then you're beating people, by Carolina Kalawawa by decision. And then, some no names. Lost to Iasmin Jaragui. Amanda Lemos is beating Mackenzie Dern. Beat Marina Rodriguez by KO. Beating Michelle Waterman Gomez, tough. Okay, you're going to knock her for a championship fight? Iasmin hasn't even been to the champion. Or a 5-round fight in the UFC yet to begin with. Lost to a Verna, are we going to give her crap about that? Verna is on a rise as well. So to me, I got to go with the vet here. Surprised that she's an underdog. I thought this would be more of a pick'em and staying at a pick'em throughout the week. We'll see where the odds lie, because when I initially wrote this down, she was at plus 105. She's sitting at plus 110 now. So, excuse me. I just think everyone's getting this age gap twisted. Like, she's 23, right? Iasmin 23. Not like a 28 or 29 where she's fought for a while, fought some notable people, and is really coming into her prime. No, she's 23, man. So I think the inexperience shows, and I think the experience shows for Amanda Lemos. So give me the dog and give me the vet. Obviously, it's going to be by decision. I don't know, man. What does the community have to say? I'm on the other side. Okay. Obviously by decision. Knockout? No way. No way, man. Lemos gets a knockout. That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy. Good fight nevertheless. We're going with the dog there, Amanda Lemos. We move on. Next fight. We got Bobby King Green. Legally changed his name to King. Lame. Versus Mauricio Ruffy. Yo. Oh, odds in the fight. Plus 420 for King Green. Minus 590 for Mauricio Ruffy. Yeah. I mean, we got to go with Mauricio Ruffy as the pick here. Who are we kidding? I'm not taking any shot on King Green here at this point in his career. 38 years old. Mauricio Ruffy's 10 years younger. Haven't even brought this up yet, but let's just circle it. He's fighting with the fighting nerds, and he's one of the top 4. Okay, he's one of the top 4 in that freaking camp. Him, Gene Silva, Carlos Prates, and Kyle Barajo. Okay, those 4 there. You're going to see them put the glasses on when they win. Mauricio Ruffy, one-shot Ruffy. Gonna find the one shot here. If not, it'll be by decision. Actually, how washed is King Green? How washed is he? He's a UFC vet. He's been fighting for a while. He's put on some great fights. Okay, he's put on some great fights. I'm not gonna discredit him. He's tough and he has some pretty nice striking. Okay, it's just the fact that he's older and not really looked great his past few fights. And his wins, okay, who are you beating? Jim Miller by decision? Grant Dawson, you caught him. Okay, one of his few losses. And you're beating Tony, like, come on. You're Tony Ferguson. Losses are coming to a Jalen Turner and Patty Pimblett. So when you actually go up against younger competition who's decent, you lose. So Mauricio Ruffy with the momentum on the fighting nerds. Impeccable striking. I think this goes the distance. I think Mauricio Ruffy puts on another great striking display. And King Green leaves with a beat-up face. So, give me the younger, better striker. Mauricio Ruffy is the pick. No, KO? I don't know about KO. 93% of people are on Ruffy. And 83% of those people say by KO. I'm on the other side. I think by decision, man. I think by decision. So, Mauricio Ruffy is the pick. We move on. To the featured prelim and a heavyweight fight. Our first heavyweight fight on the card. Let's go. These are always supposed to be super exciting, right? We got UFC veteran Curtis Blaydes, a.k.a. Razor, versus Rizvan Kuniev, UFC debut. Yeah, that rank is heavyweight. Yeah, North America. Okay, not worldwide, by the way. Odds on the fight, minus 330 for Curtis Blaydes, plus 250 for Rizvan. Man, disrespecting my boy Curtis Blaydes with these odds here. Give me Curtis Blaydes. I think he should be like more of a 5 to 6 to 1 favorite in my opinion. What is going on here? Like, seriously? They're giving this prospect this much credit? I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I think Curtis Blaydes chins this guy, bro. And you know, when it comes to Curtis Blaydes versus this guy, just think of this song. It's like, everything you can do, I can do better. That's Curtis Blaydes. Everything he can do, he does better than Rizvan. Striking, wrestling, takedown defense, clinch work on the fence, ground top control, get up game, everything. Curtis Blaydes is better at everything. He's a UFC vet. Are we serious here? Okay? Are we serious? Had to go on Dana White's Contender Series twice, man. We're good enough to get a contract so that you got sent out. And you're, not really, activity, semi-active, but 5 fights in the last 5 years. Curtis Blaydes is very active, man. So Curtis Blaydes got him on the activity here. Don't knock him for a loss to Tom Aspinall, obviously. Yeah, he technically got a win over him the first time, but don't get it twisted, okay? Yeah, Tom Aspinall went for a leg kick, fucked up his knee. And it lost to Sergey Pavlovich, but we can go through underdog versus Jailton Almeida comes through, super heavy wrestler. Chris Dauskas. We can go through Curtis Blaydes wins, but they're notable and they mean something. He's ranked number 5th for a reason, right? UFC debut versus a number 5th ranked opponent. Yeah, I know it's the heavyweight division, but Curtis Blaydes he's top 5 for a reason. This guy can't just waltz on in here and no, it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. We got Curtis Blaydes by knockout. Rizvan, okay, he has decent leg kicks. He has okay takedowns. He has okay power, but he's just sloppy. He has sloppy striking. He has sloppy defense. Does have solid ground control, but that's been against people who suck. So that's all I can really say about Rizvan. Yeah, I don't. Curtis Blaydes, I guess I bet you by fight time. He's more of a 5 to 6 1 favorite. That's where I think he should be. So everyone agrees with me. 87% of people on Curtis Blaydes by KO too. So almost lock city here. I should say lock city, man. It's crazy. Moving on to an exciting fight. I'm really excited about this one. Yup. Here we go. All right, we got Joshua Van, the Fearless, versus Rei Tsuruya. Odds on the fight, plus 160 from the man from Japan. And Joshua Van, minus 190. Two young cats, man. Look at this, 23 and 22 years old. Anywho, my pick for the fight. And if you know me and if you've watched my freaking pick videos, you know who I'm picking here, man. You know who I'm picking. We're going with Joshua Van. And it's not just because I'm a fan of the Joshua Van. I'm on the Joshua Van. Okay? It's not just because I'm a fan, okay? I think he has the edge here. Now, Rei Tsuruya, he depends on that takedown, man. If he doesn't get that takedown top control, his striking's okay, but it's not going to keep up with Joshua Van, man. It won't. Joshua Van has great boxing. He has solid takedown defense and can get up. Okay, he's nice sprawls. He can move around on the ground and work his way back up to the fence or whatnot. He's a dog, man. And look, he always, and this happens in every single fight, and it might be a little live spot for you guys too if you don't like the minus 190 on Joshua Van, but he loses most of the first rounds. He does. He just doesn't come in like crazy. And Rei Tsuruya might do that and waste all of his energy, and then in the second and third round get pieced up by Joshua Van. And I think that's what's going to happen, actually. Rei Tsuruya, he is good. He's undefeated for a reason. Has a few good wins in the UFC, but other than the Carlos Hernandez win, he's beaten some scrubs. He's a road to the UFC guy, which means he's not really fighting the best competition. And he went to decision with Carlos Hernandez. He didn't finish him, by the way, and that's his only win in the UFC. These road to the UFC guys we've shown, and they've proven not to really be the best. I mean, can't say that about everybody, but I just, it's experience and history has shown. So, Joshua Van, I think, gets the best of him. He has better cardio, better boxing. He'll lose the first round, win the second and third round. Rei Tsuruya's tough. He's going to get shown a UFC veteran lesson. I mean, I guess, wow, it's crazy to say Joshua Van's a UFC veteran. I wouldn't say veteran yet, but I mean, fuck, he's got 5 fights in the UFC. This dude's fighting every 3 months. I mean, come on now. Give this guy props. 23 years old doing this and only 1 loss. So, yeah, I mean, I got to roll with Joshua Van. He has the momentum here. He's been looking great and better and better and better. Coming off a win off Cody Djordan and Edgar Chairez. Give it to me, man. Joshua Van. Let's go. Ain't nobody picking Tsuruya. 19% of people, I guess. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Yeah, I'll give it to you guys. Tsuruya might win the first round. And that's when everyone's going to be like, oh, look, see, Joshua Van, I don't know. Second and third round will start. You'll see it. Joshua Van, by decision. Next fight. Oh, a good one. A good one. We got Bruno Ferreira, the Hulk, versus Armen Petrosyan, Superman. Odds on the fight, plus 135 for the Hulk, minus 165 for Armen. One of those fights where you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I could see a win for both ways, but ultimately, slept on it one more time, and I'm rolling with the Hulk. Give me Bruno Ferreira. That's right, give me the underdog. And I know he's suspect, he relies on the knockout, but sometimes that one-trick pony is just too good. It ends up winning, man. Armen Petrosyan, great kickboxer, has UFC experience. He's longer, he's taller. He has okay takedown defense. Only been KO'd twice in his career. It's pretty good cardio and has notable wins in the UFC. So I got to give him his props and credit where it's due. But Bruno Ferreira, relying on that first round knockout, I just see it happening, man. I just see it happening. Coming off a bad loss against Abus Magomedov, I mean, we just shown if he goes past the first round, it's out. He's out. And he also lives and dies by the KO because, look, he got knocked out by Nerlston Ruzabov almost 2 years ago. But knocked out RoboCop. I guess both of them did. Knocked out Phil Hawes. Knocked out Dustin Stolfus. I mean, Armen Petrosyan not looking good so far here. Lost to Ashara Bullet with a double spinning back fist, which is that's crazy. First ever. Submission by Rodolfo Vieira. Has wins over Christian Leroy Duncan. No, pretty good win. AJ Dobson, lost to Kyle Brajo. He did beat Gregory Rodriguez back in the day. But yeah, man, I think Bruno Ferreira can find that shot. I think Bruno Ferreira with his movement, you just see him moving around, and all of a sudden, boom, comes in with that super heavy hand. Or he'll get you against the fence. And I mean, he's just so many ways he can knock you out. But if it gets out of the first round, I don't know, man. His cardio is not really the best and slows down drastically after the first round. He can mix in the wrestling a little bit. Again, he moves around crazy. Basically run around the octagon, switching stances like crazy. But ultimately gets his little reads in, finds a shot. finds the knockout shot. I think Bruno Ferreira gets back on track here, man. I think he gets back on track. Give me Bruno Ferreira by KO. It was tough. It was tough. I mean, because I was like, oh man, Armen Petrosyan, you can kind of just outclass him, right? With the kickboxing match. But I feel like once Ferreira gets in there and touches him up a little bit, he's going to kind of be a little scared and kind of be on the back pedal. And Ferreira's going to, he's got really heavy hands, man. That's what scares me. So Armen Petrosyan, I just see it coming. First round knockout. Ferreira, give me Ferreira, first round knockout over Armen Petrosyan. Oh man, I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised. I was really this close to picking Petrosyan. I said that this last week about Sam Patterson. Look what dang happened. But and I guess in this week, he's actually the favorite. So yeah, I think Ferreira can find the shot on him. I just keep seeing it happening in my dreams. Is Petrosyan getting flatlined by Ferreira, man. His hands are heavy, dude. His hands are heavy. We move on. Wow. Yeah, I'm excited to show you the odds in this fight, at least. We got Alex Morono, the Great White, which I keep saying this every single time. No. That's me. Versus Carlos Leal, the Lion. And look at the odds in this fight. They are crazy. Minus 600 for Carlos Leal. Plus 430 for Alex Morono. Wild, man. Wild. Anywho. Yeah, my pick for the fight here is going to be Carlos Leal. Alex Morono, it's safe to say he is washed at this point, even though he's only 34 years old. 2 losses, not looking that great, to a Daniel Rodriguez and Nico Price. You have a win over 2 oldies, Court McGee and Tim Means. Like, you can only beat old people. Lost to Joaquin Buckley. I mean, come on now. We can all see that coming. But Carlos Leal, 30 years old, 4 years younger than him. Coming off a loss to Rinat Fakhretdinov. I think we can all agree Carlos Leal won that fight. It was just the area of the country that he was in that, may have swayed the decision the other way. But let's make this straight. I bet on Rinat Fakhretdinov too, okay? So Carlos Leal did get robbed. But yeah, LFA guy and PFL guy looked pretty good. Mostly in the PFL. One fight in the LFA. But looked pretty good. Had some pretty good fights there. And we saw his fight with Rinat Fakhretdinov. This guy's tough. Has great striking. Moves forward. Pretty nice with the pressure. Has okay grappling. Pretty good fence work. KO power too. Saw him drop Rinat a few times. Or get close to it. So he's tough, man. Mixes in the wrestling. At least feints. Yeah, man. Alex Morono. I just think he's washed at this point. Chinny only beats scrubs. He's light on the feet, but he's moving around to run away from you as well. His punches don't really have any intent to them. They're just not too much. He likes to clinch on the fence and just hold you there. Suspect cardio and in the later rounds, not going to wrestle with you. He's just a striker. I can see Carlos Leal getting some ground control time on him. Decision. I just see him getting maybe like a sneaking in a nice elbow at some point and dropping Morono. I think Carlos Leal by KO is my go-to here. The odds are just crazy though. Do I think they're justified? Not this much, man. Not this much. To lose your UFC debut and then come in and be a minus 600 favorite against Alex Morono at these ages here, it's crazy. To me. But anywho, what do we got on Tapology? 11% pick Morono, actually, so I'm surprised about that. More people than I thought. 89% of people on Leal. About 60-30 on 60% on the KO, 30% on decision. So yeah, Carlos Leal by KO. I think he sneaks in a late round elbow that clips Morono and gets him out. So Carlos Leal by KO is my official say. Did this just get announced? Oh, no way. Might have to cap that one on the spot, guys. That's crazy. Ooh, I'll have to cap this one on the spot if it's true. So, anywho, we're moving on to this one. Just saw that, and I'm like, whoa. This is a good fight here against two young men here. We got Mairon Santos, the legend, versus Francis Fire Marshall. Hold on. Ugh. Odds on the fight, we got minus 375 for Mairon Santos and plus 290 for Francis Marshall. My pick for this fight is going to be Mairon Santos. In another fight, I was very close on picking the underdog here, but at the end of the day, I couldn't do it. I picked Mairon Santos because great technical kickboxer, has nice speed, has knockout power somewhat. Really, displays his octagon control, has pretty good takedown defense for the most part. His one loss in his career coming against Dan Argueta, who just bodied him and wrestle-crapped him for 2.5 rounds and finds the KO on the ground. But since that point, and this is why I picked him, he's shown improvement. He's shown great takedown defense. He's working with some great guys at Extreme Couture. And, Francis Marshall, again, I was this close to picking him because I think he can mimic, that Dan Argueta fight in a sense, but he can't, work that game plan for a full 3 rounds like Dan Argueta does. Like, Dan Argueta has a pretty good gas tank. And I'm not discrediting Francis Marshall because he has good cardio, but that's a different type of cardio, man. And Francis Marshall cannot do that with the wrestling for 3 rounds. I think he can get that for 1 round. So I think Mairon Santos wins by decision. But on the other hand here, Francis Marshall, dude, he's tough. Has a few fights in the UFC. Has some decent power. Tremendous pressure. I don't like how he eats leg kicks at all. He loves to get into brawls. I think Mairon Santos can get the better edge in those little brawls. He's just a little hittable. I mean, look at his picture here. It's him bloody and smiling. So now he does bounce around from lightweight to featherweight, and you'll see that. But this is a featherweight fight. I don't think he'll have any issues on the scale, but just something to kind of look at here. But yeah, I give the edge to Mairon Santos. A win over Con Offley, and Con Offley not really the best, to be honest with you. And he looked okay. But out of the two here, I think he's shown improvement. I think he'll put on a little class act, honestly. Mairon Santos by decision. Francis Marshall is tough, man. And I think this is just something to look at whenever the odds come out, right, is Francis Marshall on the scorecards. I think this ends 29-28 in Mairon Santos' way. I think Francis Marshall can take down Mairon Santos. I think he's not able to do too much with it, but I think he gets 2-3 minutes of ground control time in one of the 3 rounds, maybe the last round. That may give him the round. So yeah, something to look at. Maybe it's just like a plus 3.5 for Francis Marshall. On the betting side of things, but my pick for the fight's Mairon Santos by decision. I'm surprised by this. I would think more people would be on Francis Marshall. I thought they would. Is Santos that good? We'll see. I guess, he has shown strides and great improvement recently, so I'm not gonna discredit him for that, but the discrepancy in the picks here is crazy. Anywho, Mairon Santos by decision is my official play. We move on down. And 2 more fights, I guess, but this one here. We got Ozzy Diaz versus Djordan Santos. Ooh. Odds on the fight here, we got plus 155 for Ozzy Diaz and minus 185 for Djordan Santos, a.k.a. Shakur. Yeah, my pick for the fight here is going to be Djordan Santos. Reasoning, I don't think Ozzy Diaz is UFC worthy. Okay? Lost on the Contender Series, wins in the LFA, loses again in the UFC when they give him a short notice fight against Zhang Mingyang. Older, chinny, not really the best. I mean, look, it's not like Djordan Santos is some amazing fighter either, okay? Like, took this weird layoff, right? What's the deal here? You know? And then gets a decision win over Will Curry. I don't know. Like, how I see this fight playing out is Djordan Santos by decision, or maybe a late second or third round KO. But he's kind of like a boring heavyweight. He's almost like a point fighter, man. He's looking to like hold you, and just not like a Walter Walker, almost like a Walter Walker, man, like a darker Walter Walker. I mean, his striking's okay, but he's winning decisions, man. He's not knocking people out. He's winning decisions. You knocked some guy out on his retirement fight. You know what I mean? In some regional scene. Like, it's just, you're winning decisions. Your last 3 wins are decision. One of them coming by split. He's just an okay striker. He just makes fights boring. So I think he pulls the win out. But yeah, man, I just don't think that I'll be betting on this one first off. But yeah, kind of a boring fight to me. Get this one out of the way. Djordan Santos by decision. Everyone says the same. What? Man, I'm not trying to copy everyone. I've only been on the opposite side a few times, but yeah, we got Djordan Santos by decision. We move on to the next fight. Now look, guys, I'm doing this one on the spot. I have absolutely no notes on this. This is a brand new fight to me. First fight of the night. Chris Gutierrez, El Guapo, versus John Castaneda, a.k.a. Sexy Mexi. John Castaneda was supposed to fight last week. I actually picked him for his fight last week. Anywho. Any odds on the fight yet? No odds at all. Okay, coming into this odd list. Anyway. My pick for the fight here, I mean, it's going to be Chris Gutierrez. Yeah. Give me Chris Gutierrez, man. I just think that, okay, lost to a tough Pedro. Lost to a Song Yadong, who's looked really good. Yeah, man. I like Chris Gutierrez. I like his leg kicks. He has decent striking. I think he has pretty nice movement. John Castaneda, ugly mustache. Hasn't really looked the best in the recent times. Lost to a Daniel Marcos. Okay, I mean, Daniel Marcos is on a mission. Beat a Kaio Hong Kong. Beat a Muan Gafriov. Okay, that's all right. Lost to Daniel Santos. And a win over Miles Johns is actually, kind of aging pretty well. But John Castaneda, man, I just don't think he has enough experience and oomph in his strikes. I don't think his wrestling will be effective because I think Chris Gutierrez is going to be able to keep that distance with his leg kicks and his striking. Yeah, again, not too many notes on this, but initial pick is going to be Chris Gutierrez. Yeah, I like him. I think he'll end up being the favorite. He'll probably be like a 2-1 favorite from what I think. But we'll see when the odds come out. There are no odds on Tapology, so the 4 people that have picked Chris Gutierrez by decision. I agree. So yeah, Chris Gutierrez is the pick. Again, few notes. This is on the spot. Castaneda hasn't shown enough for me. Chris Gutierrez, lots of fights. Just like his style, man. Like his style. So Chris Gutierrez is my pick. And those are all the fights on UFC 313. If you've made it this far, thank you for your support. Appreciate you watching this far. If you haven't, please do so. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Patreon is in the description. That's where you can get all my bets when I place them. I already placed all my bets for UFC 313 yesterday. So the bets video drops on Wednesday. Bets were placed yesterday. It's best to get in on that free Patreon. That way you can get the odds and want to place them, or at least better than Wednesday. So, anywho, Young Pasty, whitest in the land, signing out. Let's have a good week guys. Let's have a good week this week, guys. Let's go. Signing out. Let's go. Bye.